I have made it to the 30th week of my pregnancy. And to be completely honest, thinking back to the first trimester, I thought that I would never make it to this point of like feeling like I'm almost there. I'm really in the final stretch now, and it's hard to believe that in a matter of weeks he's gonna be here. And I'm so excited and nervous and just kind of at a loss for even what to feel right now, because just so much is about to change. And as exciting as that is, it's also extremely overwhelming. So it's crazy to be sitting here 30 weeks pregnant. Unreal. So I am going to be talking about weeks 28 and 29 of this pregnancy. Last time I updated, I had just turned 28 weeks pregnant, and I had also just had an appointment at the doctor and had the blood drawn for my 1-hour glucose test. So picking up where I left off last time with that whole debacle, unfortunately I failed my 1-hour glucose test. So I had that on Friday. I get the call first thing Monday morning, and I was so just like frustrated and like mad at myself, and that week was rough. That week was rough. Being a Monday, being first thing in the day, hearing that just like brought me down, and it was just not the news I wanted to hear to kick off my week. So I was doing a lot of research, trying not to freak myself out. So my score was a 142. And my doctor's office looks for a 135 or below. So I called the nurse back after she gave me all the news, because she calls me and she just starts throwing all this information at me about, oh yeah, come in for the 3-hour test, da da da. I'm gonna send you directions on what to eat and blah, blah, blah. And it was like so much information for me to take in at once. I was just like, okay. And then I get off the phone, and it took me like a day to kind of process all of this information. So the following day I called back and asked to have a nurse call me, and I had questions about like, could I retake the 1-hour test? Because I was really hoping deep down that the reason why I didn't pass the 1-hour test was because the week leading up to it was the week after Easter. So like Easter weekend, went ham on the ham and the desserts and stuff. And then I had candy throughout the week. I'm pretty sure I had Lucky Charms for dinner at least once. And then I also found this, what do you call it? Ice cream cake ice cream, like in a gallon tub. And I was enjoying that throughout the week too. And I ate fine like the 2 days before the test, so I thought that was good enough. But I honestly was like really hoping that I just threw my sugar in my body off by indulging like to a different level. So I asked if I could do the 1-hour one again. She's like, no, if anything, we would just skip the 3-hour and you would go straight to the specialist and learn how to prick your finger 4 times a day. I'm just like, I don't want to freaking do that. So I was like, whatever, I'll just suck it up. I'll do a 3-hour test. So I did. So this past Monday, I went in to do that first thing Monday morning. Again, a great way to start the week, right? So I ate really good like the week leading up to it. And even with my mom's birthday that past weekend, I had a cupcake. Like, I didn't deprive myself, but I was like, all right, I just gotta eat like a normal person, not like I am in the 3rd trimester of my pregnancy. So fasted from midnight the night before. Really, it was probably like 8 o'clock the night before, until 8 in the morning when I went in. Did an initial draw, fasting blood sugar, whatever. Drank the drink, disgusting. This one was like twice as bad because I think it was twice as much sugar. It was just like syrup, like, ugh. I had the lemon lime flavor again, and at least it was cold, but yeah, that was not fun, especially on an empty stomach. Ugh. But then waited an hour, did the blood draw, another hour, another draw, and then the third hour, another draw. So I was at the doctor's office from like 8 o'clock till like 11:15, 11:30. Luckily, I had my work computer and I was able to do some stuff to pass the time. But, you know, at that point, I guess I had kind of come to terms with the fact that if I did in fact have gestational diabetes, that it wasn't necessarily anything that I did, and that if anything, it was a really great wake-up call to be like, yo, you gotta like take care of your body and like eat the right foods. And I do most of the time, but I guess it was just a reminder that like I can't play the system. So anyways, finished that up. I was kind of like at that point, whatever, if I have gestational diabetes, it is what it is. So Tuesday goes by, no news. And I'm like, okay, well, last time I heard within like a Friday to a Monday, so I kind of considered that one business day. And then Wednesday went by, still nothing. And I'm like, I'm hoping that no news is good news. And fortunately it was. They posted my test results Wednesday night late and everything came back normal for each of the draws. My blood sugar was within like kind of the middle of the range that they like to see it in. So I was so relieved, so thankful, because just the last thing I want to have to deal with is that for the last couple months of this pregnancy. And so I am so relieved that's over. And I guess the lesson learned is that this has kind of been the whole theme like throughout this whole pregnancy, because I go back and forth between like eating really good and then not eating so good. But this was like the most legit wake-up call to be like, I feel better when I eat better, and I know it's just more worth it. Like, these like sweet treats are great in moderation, but they're not doing anything for me outside of the 5 minutes I'm enjoying them. So I'm gonna chill. So anyways, I'm gonna stop ranting about this because I've had enough of this gestational diabetes glucose test talk. But moving forward for the rest of this pregnancy, I just really want to keep things under control because I've already gained a good amount of weight. So I don't really want to go too crazy the rest of this time. I want to keep things on track and just keep feeling good, because there's so many other things that are taking a toll on how I feel. So since I can control what I'm putting in my body, it's a good way to feel at least a little bit in control of all of the changes that are happening. That being said, let's move on to talk about some more exciting things, like how crazy this little guy is moving inside my belly. His movements now are so strong, and there's just so many times when he just like presses, and there's been times like I have to like adjust myself and I'm like, oh, that kind of really does hurt. Like, before leading up till now, like there were times where I was like, yeah, like that's really uncomfortable, but now it's getting to a point where it's like that kind of hurts. So it's good that he's growing, and I cannot wait to get an estimate as to how big he is at this point. I have an ultrasound coming up this coming Thursday, so the day that I turn 31 weeks pregnant, I have an ultrasound just to follow up on to see kidneys. I think primarily that's what they want to check out, but I'm sure they'll check everything else too, I assume, while they're in there or while they're looking in there. So I cannot wait to see, and I am so hoping that I have hair in my gloss. Okay, I am so hoping that they do the 40, because I want to see like what his little facial features look like. I'm so curious. Oh, hi, my cat's here. I'm so curious to also know like the position that he's in, because I try to figure it out. In my mind, I feel like I feel his butt or like his back or something, but I honestly have no clue because like I feel movements in different areas. So it's, I have a visitor. Hey girl. Oh, hey. I feel movements all over the place. So I really have no guess as to how he's situated in there. So very curious, very excited, and just hoping for the best, that they see things that are, everything looks normal, and we're just on track for a smooth delivery and smooth transition into him being a part of our world, our life here outside of the womb. Now I'm going to start talking about some just other random symptoms that have been going on. In line with baby growing, my belly growing, sleeping is getting to be much more uncomfortable. Just finding like the right position where my belly doesn't feel like it's totally being weighed down on either side that I'm laying on. That's becoming a little bit more of a challenge. I'm finding that I need to kind of tuck my pregnancy pillow under my belly a little bit more now, just to like, I don't know, cushion it and like give it some support. Which, oh man, I was looking at myself in the mirror earlier today. I'm like, holy crap, like how much bigger can I really get? And I feel like it changes every day, like depending on what I wear. Like a couple of days ago I wore a dress and I was like, I feel like I look really small for being 30 weeks pregnant. And then the next day I'm wearing a different outfit and I'm like, holy crap, I look like I'm full term. So yeah, it's an adventure. This adventure is something else, to watch your body go through all of these changes. Yeah, it's something that I wasn't like, I knew I was gonna have to deal with, but like you don't fully understand just how crazy of a mental thing this is, as much as it is a physical thing. It's insane. So back to symptoms. My skin has been pretty good lately, all things considered. I've had some like minor breakouts. I think that's mostly because like if I'm at work and I have like my hand on my chin or something like that, so I'm sitting there, so not like hormonal breakouts like I was having. But one thing I have been surprised about is how much my skin condition has fluctuated throughout the pregnancy. Like I was kind of under the impression that like you get pregnant, your skin's glowing, like your hair's like long and luscious, but to start off, my skin like took a turn for the worse, and same with my hair. My hair was falling out like crazy. My nails were pretty strong, but then there was a period where my nails were super brittle and breaking all the time. That's past, like they're pretty good right now. I just need to make sure I like file them and like keep them in good condition so that they're not chipping and whatever. But that's been very interesting to me. I kind of just assumed that, oh, pregnancy hormones are gonna be just like this the whole time and hair and skin is gonna be great. But the hormones are like fluctuating the whole time, so I mean it makes sense that the other things are fluctuating as well, but something I did not consider before getting pregnant. Another random thing is that I am extremely thirsty all the time. So I've been getting down a lot of water, which is good, it's important. But even now I'm like noticing my mouth getting very dry, and it comes on very quickly, and once it does come on, it's like it takes me a long time to not feel extremely thirsty anymore. And then speaking of that, kind of, my appetite has still been good, but I feel like I'm becoming a little bit more picky about what I'm eating. Granted, I'm trying to be more mindful of the foods that I'm putting in my body just to make sure I'm eating to fuel my body, eating to ensure my digestion stays in like a good place. But there are things that just don't sound good. Like I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm okay with eating the same kind of things every day because I just don't want as much of a variety. I just want to kind of like have some consistency, have some just basic go-tos that I can depend on. and know that sound good and make me feel good, and I know that are relatively healthy options. So I'm just finding that that's kind of just what I'm drawn to lately. Still no weird cravings. Another thing that's kind of surprised me, that I kind of assumed that every pregnancy you have these cravings and you just get something in your mind and you have to have it. And I guess in the first trimester, I did have cravings, but they weren't like, I need this because it sounds so good. It was like, I need this because I'm pretty sure my body can eat this right now without wanting to barf it up. So different type of, I guess, like what am I saying? Pregnancy brain is so real. A different type of reason for cravings, I guess. But the typical like movie pregnancy cravings, where you just feel the desire to eat ice cream and you're ravenous, yeah, not so much, not so much. So another thing that I've been expecting, that's to be expected, is that I just do not have the energy that I did have. I hosted my husband and I hosted my mom's 50th birthday here at our house last weekend. And between like prepping for that, cooking the food for that, hosting people, I was so wiped out afterwards. Like my body just felt so exhausted. Like a different level of exhaustion that I haven't felt really, because I lay pretty low on most days. So that was rough. And I noticed now too that just between going to work during the day and coming home, like at the end of the day, I am just so ready to call it a day. And I'm usually in bed around 9-ish. I try not to fall asleep that early, because if I do, I tend to wake up in the middle of the night and then it's harder for me to fall back asleep. But yeah, I'm just not moving as quickly as I used to, which is good because I'm listening to my body and I'm being very mindful of the physical exertion that I'm like putting on myself. But at the same time, I'm so ready to just feel like a normal functioning human being again. And I know normal functioning human being will have its own definition once baby's here, and we're sleep deprived because of that. But just I cannot wait to feel like I'm not a guest in my own body anymore, where I am in control of like how I feel. I'm really looking forward to that. So that cannot come soon enough. I think that's probably the thing that I miss the most about my pre-pregnancy body, was that I was just in control. Like, yeah, I would get tired if I did a lot of stuff, but it wasn't like it came out of nowhere and it hit me so hard. Like, I could pace myself. But now, even if I pace myself, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna get exhausted. So, ready to feel like that's a thing of the past. At least until I get pregnant again. Just a couple more symptoms to talk about before I shift gears again. Balance. Balance has not been so great. Putting on pants is a definite struggle. I have to be sitting down to put in one leg at a time. And then I've also noticed that because my belly's getting bigger, it's kind of becoming an obstacle for everyday tasks, which is fun. And I'm like bumping it into things. Like I lean into things and I'm like, oh yeah, the belly's like there. Like I can't lean over the bathroom sink really anymore to like look in the mirror when I don't have my glasses on or my contacts in, like to get close to the mirror. I have to like lift the belly up over the counter and then lean in. And then even at work, like I'm finding how my desk is situated. Like I'll roll my chair in and I'm like, oh yeah, I can only go this far to my computer because the belly is blocking. So I think that's only gonna get worse in these next 9-ish weeks. So that'll be a definite obstacle to deal with. But yeah, really in the past week, I've noticed it becoming more of a, just a bigger burden on everyday tasks. Now, shifting gears into something that's not really a symptom. I guess some people might define it as a symptom, but it's more just the reality of my life right now, is that nesting, the desire, is kind of kicking in a little bit more. But the struggle with that is that my shower is not for a couple more weeks. It's not until I think the second weekend in May. So I'm kind of at this like crossroads where I really want to get ready and I really want to do more with this blank slate nursery that I'm sitting in right now, but I really can't because I'm not supposed to buy myself stuff. I'm supposed to wait for the shower. So that's just giving me a tad bit of anxiety because just every day that goes by that I'm not doing something to prepare, I'm kind of like, am I wasting time? Like, the timeline is running out here. Like, what if he's early? I really hope he's not early. I mean, I would be fine if he came at like 38 weeks-ish. But definitely don't want him coming anytime before middle of June. But anyways, there's things that you can't control. So like, what if he did come? He would definitely have enough clothes. We just got a bunch more clothes from one of my coworkers. He will basically have clothes up until he is 2 years old and he'll be all set. He'll have some books. He'll have a crib to sleep in here. He'll have some diapers and then like some random stuff that we've just gathered from people that have given it away to us. But as far as like a place to sleep in our room, place to like chill downstairs, like essentials, yeah, we don't have any of that yet, and it's driving me kind of crazy because I so much just want to like go out to the store and just get everything myself because then I know I have it. And I also know that baby showers, as much you can put in like as much work as you want into your registry, but that does not mean anything to a lot of people. Like for our wedding shower, we got a good amount of stuff off of our registry, but to be honest, like there was so much stuff that we got that we just like, it was cool, but we don't even use it. We don't need it. Like it was extra. So I'm really hoping we don't just get like a ton of clothes because we do not need clothes. I'm hoping that we get the stuff that's on our registry. Fingers crossed, but I'm telling you right now that the day after our shower, if we do not get the things that are on my short list of necessities, I'm going to the store and I am buying all those things. I'm gonna have them here by the second weekend in May so that I can go crazy and just set things up because I mean, I'm just ready, just so ready. And as far as other things go, like prepping the rest of our house for baby, we're in pretty good shape. We've done like projects consistently pretty much since like, I don't know, January, February. So we've done a lot. But I'm also the type of person where as much as I want to do stuff, I'm always like, I don't want to do it too early. Like when we moved into our house here from our condo, like I wanted to pack, I wanted to be like proactive, things like that. But at the same time, like I don't want to pack too early and have just boxes sitting there, and then when the day comes closer, you're just like waiting there twiddling your thumbs like, oh, I had all this time to get ready and I did it so early. And I know most of the time it's really not like a rational fear because there's always more stuff to do, but we're in that window of time where it's like, he's not here yet, but in just a matter of weeks, we're gonna be like, he could come anytime. So transitioning to that mindset is a different ball game in itself. I just can't wait to feel like physically ready for him to be here. I think mentally I'm getting to a point where I'm just ready for him to be here. I'm kind of over this whole pregnancy thing and I'm just so ready to meet him. And as much as my thoughts about labor are kind of fluctuating as well. You know, I'm just trying to think past that more often than thinking about labor itself, because the end result is what this is all about. I think about the middle of my pregnancy, I was feeling like super empowered, being like, yeah, I'm a woman, I can give birth, like I'm not scared. But now that it's becoming more of a reality of like, my body's about to go through this extreme thing in a matter of weeks, I'm not scared, but I'm just kind of like, holy crap, like I've never had any sort of like major medical thing to deal with in my life. And just all of the unknowns that are around labor, just I can't even wrap my head around it. And we have our first, well, I guess my husband and I are going to this first class, which is an all-day class next weekend. And then the following weeks on Tuesdays at the hospital, they have kind of like mini classes, but they focus on specific topics like reality check, like life with baby, bringing baby home, like tips for soothing baby, breastfeeding class, things like that. I think these classes are more of like open discussion. So I'm probably gonna go to those. My husband unfortunately can't because he has work during when they are, but this class coming up next weekend is the all-day class where we get the hospital tour, and we'll cover the whole shebang. So hopefully that'll make me feel a little bit more at ease, because honestly I don't even know where we would be going in the hospital. Like, I know where the hospital is, I can get there with my eyes closed, but this is a pretty big hospital campus, so as far as like pulling to the parking lot, I have no idea from that point. So I think that'll be good. I think that will help to kind of ease some of my nerves as far as like, I don't know, kind of what to expect when the day comes. I mean, there's so many things that are going to be out of our control on that day, but at least knowing that I'm somewhat prepared will help me feel a little bit better. And I'm also going to be packing our hospital bags probably in the next few weeks. I did pack up like a little toiletry bag already, because I was just having one of those days where I was like, I need to do something. I need to feel at least a little bit productive, like I'm making moves to prepare for this. So I packed that, and that's in the closet, and I have a few more things to get. So at least I could buy those things. Like I could buy those little like toiletry things and all the postpartum exciting things. But at least I can be buying something, and I can be like stocking things up and feeling like I'm taking action. And the rest, we'll figure it out as it comes. But that's where we are at right now. I am going to show my ginormous belly. It's so big. And then I will close this out until next time.